get around Syria, Israel, Texas.
So the thing is he going to be able to give life to the dead? Now, I was having a discussion with a Christian, and I was trying to make a point, because he was saying, Islam is the Antichrist.
تذكر يوما كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر تناجي الله في صبر وترجو رحمة تسري فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير تحلق في ثقافات وتنهل من ربى الخير.
Before the video starts, guys, check out our sponsors, Nature's Blends. They specialize in premium Ethiopian black seed products. Their products are fantastic health supplements and also from the Sunnah. The website is in the description link below. You can also use the discount code SALAM10 for 10% off their products. What are you guys waiting for?
Asalaamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters and dear friends, hope you guys are well, inshallah. Welcome to this unnamed show. We have no name to it, but we discuss a variety of topics. Welcome to Salam Studios. So guys, now, yesterday I was on live appeal, not live appeal, I was doing some fundraising for an orphanage that was going to be built. Alhamdulillah, we reached nearly £50,000. May Allah bless every single one of you guys. Now, as I was on that live thing on Instagram, a lot of people saying this is the Dajjal movie. I was like, what the hell's going on? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? I was like, what are you guys talking about? So, I had a little glimpse at it, but we're going to react to it. I'm going to react with Sheikh Abu Safia. Well, I'm going to react to it, and because obviously there's some elements of, we'll cover them up, females, but obviously around our teachers, inshallah, we should be respectful, and I'm sure they would not want to see that, which I very highly doubt they don't want to, and that's the reason why he's going to come on straight after we react to it. We're going to get a few points where we're going to come for it from an element of the Hadith, Islamic literature, what the Hadith say about it, and let's see. A lot of people saying it's been very strange. Let's see what's going on. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go.
He's come out of nowhere, and we don't know who he is. What do we know about him? He's leading desperate people.
So this is a cult?
We don't know who he's associated with. He could be creating an army.
Okay, let's remember that. Yeah, he can be creating an army. Okay.
Or he could be leading them to their death.
Okay, interesting words are being used there, phrases. And it's quite interesting that a lot of people are like staring at him. There's like a big gathering. And when the Sheikh comes in, inshallah, after we've watched it, we're going to be talking about what kind of people are going to be following Dajjal.
What are you doing in Syria?
Out of everywhere, not France, not London, not Hong Kong, Syria. Okay?
A message for a woman.
Okay, so there's a massive storm going on, tornado, and he's the only one that's standing there. So it is showing something supernatural, yeah? I'm going to assume he's maybe Superman's cousin, but let's carry on.
And who is your father?
Okay, who's your father? To me, that sounds more like, the biblical fatherly thing going on there, because does he answer it? I don't even know if he answers it.
We've lost him.
What do you mean?
He just disappears.
No one just disappears.
Okay, there is definitely something new supernatural happening if you're disappearing from a cell. So yeah, okay.
We all witnessed a miracle. He saved my daughter's life.
That is key. He's saving lives, yeah? It's very key because there's certain hadith that I've seen. But let's carry on. So he's saving lives, miracles, supernatural stuff. Who's your father doesn't answer. It's going to be the Messiah. He's going to be in Syria. Okay, let's see. It looks like it was maybe a strict Salafi brother who made this movie, following the Hadith.
You need to see this.
Bury it for as long as you can. He didn't
Okay, we have the cross. Okay.
just click his heels and end up here. He clearly had help. You get around Syria, Israel, Texas.
I think they meant Syria, Palestine, Texas. So this is very key. Remember these things. They're saying you're getting around fast. Yeah? There's hadiths about this we're going to come to, inshallah. Very, very weird.
The nature of my work.
What did he say? What did he say?
an intro of my work.
Intro to my work. I don't know. I think that's what I heard.
And what is that work?
God's work.
Woo. Okay, this is some shirky, biblical Jesus type thing going on. So there's a guy kneeling, kissing his hand, yeah, and he's claiming to be God's work.
Who do you think he is?
You didn't see what I saw.
And if I did, would I be calling him the second coming?
Second coming. Did he say second coming? I heard that. So we know, we believe, the Christians also believe of the second coming of Isa alayhi salam, but
Will this new movement spread?
ooh, convert you or con you?
I'm going to find out everything about you.
False God. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? False God. Wow.
This is bigger than what you can imagine.
All right. So basically, Sheikh, obviously you heard it. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah, you didn't watch it. You heard it yourself. Yeah. This is a new Netflix series or program that's coming. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like we don't know if they're trying to depict.
You know what's quite
Isa-
interesting, yeah, because
if they're trying to
Nabi
depict,
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam describes
yeah.
Dajjal.
Yeah.
Obviously, so we know there's many sifat
Yeah.
of Dajjal, right?
Yes.
So Nabi Sallallahu described him as the famous. What's mashhur, what's common amongst the people is that
Yeah.
one of his eyes will be deformed to a certain extent.
Yes.
But what's actually uncommon that most people don't know, and
Yeah.
this is an opinion of Qadi Iyad and Al-Qurtubi and others, that
Yeah.
in fact there's the other narrations to suggest both of his eyes, the right and the left, will be both deformed.
So one will be deformed, the other one will be bulging.
Deformed as
Say
well.
deformed.
And plus, is because this narration, كعنب طافية, like it can be understood either as a bulging eye,
Yeah.
or it can be understood as something that is just like dull, like there's no light in it anymore.
Okay.
It's just a dull eye.
So his eyes seem okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing, because obviously we know that there will be kaf ra as well between this thing. Similar here as well, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam described it as well. The thing is that what you can see with this is that they are like normalizing Dajjal, because Dajjal is someone quite repulsive and quite ugly in appearance, yeah? Let alone his actions, will come to that inshallah. But in terms of his appearance, he's someone quite repulsive that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned. But you can see here that they're trying to make someone that is
Appealing.
trying to make someone that is repulsive appealing, and trying to normalize the concept of that. So really it lives up to kind of Dajjal being Dajjal, and Dajjal comes from the word Dajjal, which means kadhib and lie.
Okay.
So it's
Okay, you know, Sheikh, it's quite like strange. Yeah, because the thing is, I think they're trying to depict this person as Isa alayhi salam, the Messiah.
Yeah.
Isn't Messiah the chosen one?
So al-Masih refers to Isa ibn Maryam,
Yeah.
alayhi salam.
Yeah.
Al-Masih al-Dajjal is the imposter who would appear as al-Masih.
Okay, because here it's a bit confusing. Like, if they're trying to depict Isa alayhi salam, well, finally, thank God he's not blue-eyed and blonde-haired. Yeah, actually, they're bringing it more to the, the Eastern way he looks like. Now, there's some things here, Sheikh, where I'm thinking to myself, did these guys read the Hadith? Because it's profound, because they're talking about statements, massive following.
Yeah.
What kind of following is Dajjal going to have?
So we know in many hadith that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam described Dajjal as having a large following comprised of mainly Arab and women as well.
A lot of females.
A lot of females, to the extent that Rasulullah described that men would actually like tie their wives and tie their like daughters to the house to prevent them from going out. So they'll be alert to him. He'll be someone that is quite charismatic, someone that has a charm to him, and
Are you talking about me or the?
Well, it's haram to lie, brother. So we can't.
Sure. Carry on. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now.
Okay, so that's another thing, and a lot of people will be following him.
A lot of people. So another hadith, over 70,000 Yahud, Jews will follow him, and they'll come out from Asbahan. Asbahan is like modern day Iran, like another hadith, Khurasan region, which is modern day Iran.
And a lot of Muslims will follow him too.
Well, it's a fitna. And
gonna
Nabi
be a
Sallallahu
fitna?
Alaihi Wasallam, he said the greatest fitna ever that the Anbiya, the prophets, warned their followers from was Al-Masih al-Dajjal. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned about him the most.
Because there was a hadith, I think I read the Prophet said that there will be people who would go out trying to kind of challenge him, but they will fall
Yes, they
in
will.
his trap.
Absolutely.
So it's best to run away.
Absolutely. Not only run away, but protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? Number one, iman. Number one, your good deeds that you do. Number three, reciting the first 10 or memorizing the first 10 and the last 10 verses in Surah Al-Kahf. And in that, in fact, is a beautiful thing because Surah Al-Kahf talks about the story of the people of the cave. It talks about the story of Musa with Al-Khidr. It talks about the people Dhul Qarnayn and Yajuj and Ma'juj. And it talks about how the Al-Akhsareen A'mala, who are literally the people who lost the most, basically the absolute losers in this life and the next, are the ones that literally, who don't believe, and who have deceived themselves into doing good, but in reality they're doing bad. So it's connected to the Dajjal and what he will do.
So here you can see, Sheikh, obviously I'm gonna ask you to look at the screen once. Obviously I've scrolled, so just in case we don't see anything inappropriate. So here, as you can see, this is fine. You can look. Yeah. So this is here. He's standing there, and there's like a storm going on, and people are running for their life, and he's just there. So we can define this as like some kind of a miracle.
No.
What are some of the miracles that he's gonna come up with? Because we know there's gonna be, and one thing that I found really interesting is that I think there's a boy. There's like a little boy there,
Yeah.
Sorry, the way I said the boy, the tajweed of Muhammad Hijab.
No.
Boy.
No.
Anyways, that's a different topic. Forgive me. But here, there's a little kid, and it reminded me of a boy that's gonna come to him, and he's going to say that you are a Dajjal.
Yeah.
And he's gonna slice him in half.
Yes.
And bring him back to life.
And then the boy will have even more certainty.
He's gonna say,
that you're
I'm
Dajjal.
more sure that you are a Dajjal.
The one that Rasul told us about. And then the Dajjal tried to kill him again, but he wouldn't be able to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this is a young boy. It's a shab.
Wow.
And also the Dajjal is actually being described as someone who's a shab himself.
A what?
Someone who's a shab, someone who's a young person as well.
Okay.
So I think definitely the makers of this, they've done their research.
Yeah.
And they've definitely kind of probably read that hadith about Dajjal. And yeah.
So the thing is he going to be able to give life to the dead?
Nabi Sallallahu described him, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll give life to the dead, yeah.
You see what this guy says in the thing is that he goes, he saved my daughter's life.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
So
it's a great test. It's a great test, wallahi. And it's a very, very scary test, subhanAllah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from that.
Because that's one of the things, innit? We make, like, Allah protect us from the punishment of the grave, protect us from the hellfire, protect us of the of life and death, and protect us from
so this is the hadith of Abu Hurairah in Sahih Bukhari, and also there's other hadith Ibn Umar, many hadith actually, which we're taught about Rasulullah to seek refuge in Dajjal.
Okay, Sheikh, I was having a discussion with a Christian. Okay. In fact, so because there's going to be a little thing, because over here we have, let me see if I can find it. I think it's there we go. Okay, so you can have a look, Sheikh. So false god, yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So now this is quite interesting, because once I had, because the Christians believe in the Antichrist as well.
Yeah.
Now I was having a discussion with a Christian, and I was trying to make a point because he was saying, Islam is the Antichrist. Yeah. And I thought, okay, look, you're making a claim, you can't substantiate it. But I said, argument's sake, okay, let's go with this, yeah. Now, false god here claimed that it clearly shows to me that he's one of the two. He's either being depicted as Isa alayhi salam or the Dajjal, yeah? So he's either coming to fight the Dajjal or he himself is the Dajjal.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking in myself,
no, you can't be coming to fight the Dajjal.
Isa alayhi salam is going to come.
No, but see, and Isa ibn Maryam would descend whilst the Dajjal is already present.
Oh yeah, of course, he's going to come kill
and
him.
Before the Mahdi will be present as well.
Yes.
Because in some hadith, and as Shaykh al-Albani, there's one hadith in the Musnad of Al-Harith ibn Usama, it suggests that, when Isa ibn Maryam would descend in Damascus, and he would go to lead the Salah of the Muslims. And sorry, they would point to him to lead Salah, and he says, لِيَتَقَدَّمْ مِنْكُمْ أَمِيرُكُمْ, let your Amir lead the prayer. And another narration, Al-Mahdi, lead the prayer. So we know that Al-Mahdi will be present when Isa ibn Maryam comes down. So you could say the chronology of the events, it seems to be in Allah Jalla knows best, is that there will be Mahdi, Dajjal, Isa, and then interesting enough after that, Ya'juj, Ma'juj. Yeah. And then so on and so forth. So some say that Mahdi is not even a major sign, it's a minor sign.
Oh, okay.
And the first of the major signs is Dajjal.
Wow.
Then after that.
And the rest will follow like beats falling one after another. Okay, so what I was saying is, but he's going to come and fight the Dajjal.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite interesting because he will fight him, but I heard the name Philistine or Israel. Philistine, he mentioned it's interesting because in the hadith, and Isa and Maryam, he would descend in Damascus.
Okay.
But then
in Syria?
Yes.
See, he comes to Syria.
However, listen, but then he will start to pursue Dajjal, and he will meet him at a place called Bab Lud, which is next to Bethlehem in Palestine. And he'll kill him there. So it will go from Syria to Palestine.
And it's interesting, they didn't mention that he's going to go to Saudi Arabia or Medina.
Yeah,
because
interesting.
the Dajjal's not going to be able to get in there.
No, he will be getting there, but he will not get into Mecca and Medina.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because there will be seven babs, seven
Yes,
doors
yes.
around the mountain, and there will be 2 angels at each door.
Okay, so what I was saying to this Christian guy, which I was coming back to, was that he says it's with the Antichrist, yeah?
No.
And I said to him, like, because I was reading some passages in the Bible, I couldn't find them, how can I move it up, be honest? So I was saying to him, hold on a second, I said, Antichrist is going to come. You believe in Antichrist? Okay. Antichrist is going to do miracles? He said yes.
Yeah.
I said, Antichrist is going to be a man? He said yes. I said, Antichrist is going to probably give life to the dead? He said yes. I said, which religion believes that God comes down as a man, gives life to the dead, is divine, and will do miracles?
Yeah.
Islam or Christianity?
Yeah.
And he...
But then why is it many Muslims would fall for him?
Exactly. But the point here is this, that for you to call us Antichrist,
Yeah.
the problem is you are more likely to fall for it because you believe it.
Yeah.
And we know the Prophet ﷺ told us that
Sallallahu
your Lord is not one-eyed.
No.
Yeah? So
No,
we can
it is.
affirm from that, yeah, Sheikh, like I said before, I was telling him that you're more likely to follow him because it falls to your criteria of what God is. We don't believe God is a man. Yeah. So if he comes to us, inshallah, if we're among the mu'mins, like strong believers, we will deny and say, look, you're not our Lord because we don't believe our Lord can come down. You are more prone to fall for it, because you've already fell for it once. How are you going to differentiate between Isa and Dajjal?
Well, I mean, Isa Maryam will break the cross when he comes.
Exactly.
And the Christians will believe.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sheikh, 2 last things. Yeah, so how long is he going to be on the earth?
In one hadith, 40 يوما or صباحا, he will be for 40 days. 40 days. And in the hadith is one day will be like your year, the second day will be like your month, and the third day will be like the rest of your كسائر أيامكم, like the rest of your days.
Isn't it? Third would be like a week, and the rest would be the days, isn't it?
الذي أحفظ, what I memorize
month,
is
week, and
year,
days.
week, day. Yeah, I could be mistaken.
Is it year, month, week, and then days?
Year, month, day. I've not heard of.
Okay,
maybe Allahu A'lam. Maybe I'm wrong. To be honest, I didn't really have time to.
Okay.
Check
And
the hadith,
okay, one other interesting test this guy's going to do, the Dajjal. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so one hadith, and we describe him that he will come with the Jannah and the Nar. He will come with like a garden and fire. And another hadith, water and fire. And his Jannah or his garden will be fire, and his fire will be garden. And he used this to kind of like vegetation will sprout forth from the earth, and he'll be deceiving the people to show that he has some kind of rububiyyah or some kind of divinity and control over the earth.
One second. He's going to be. What do you mean garden?
Garden is some of the ulama mentioned that it's a sign that he'll be able to, like, wherever he goes, vegetation will sprout forth.
And he'll put fire.
And
I thought you meant before I was discussing that he would say jump into the fire, it'll be Jannah.
No.
And that's not what you're saying. You're saying he would have powers of making it gardens and
rububiyyah.
fire.
So he'll have certain,
misunderstood.
he'll claim to rububiyyah, a certain claim to, like, give vegetation forth and, to space. And in another hadith, like Jibal al-Khub, he'll have a mountain of bread and stuff. Obviously, it means that he will come with a lot of provisions, basically. May Allah Jalla wa'ala protect us. I think it's important that we mention to the brothers and sisters how to protect us.
So how do we... let's do this. So we've talked about the problem.
Yeah.
And one of the signs that the Dajjal will come is that when they start talking about him in the minbars.
Well, there's some athar. I don't know the sihha of these athar to suggest this. But, naam, I mean, look. Number one, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us about Surah Al-Kahf and heavily emphasized. So I mentioned it before. Some hadiths suggest the first 10 verses. Some hadiths suggest the previous 10 verses to memorize it. And Nawawi says the one who's the tadabbur of it. So it's not just memorizing, but contemplating it. So Surah Al-Kahf is key here. Surah Al-Kahf is key because I mentioned what Surah Al-Kahf talks about, but also towards the end, Surah Al-Kahf talks about the resurrection. It talks about the final day.
Yeah.
It has these kind of key elements.
So when do you recite that? Is there a specific time or a day?
Jumu'ah you read it, but that's specific for Jumu'ah.
Yes.
But in general, if the fitna of Dajjal comes, then one should recite these ayat.
It's a bit like Surah Mulk as well. When you read it at night time, we protect you from the punishment of the grave. Yeah, Shaq, it's a bit of a, it's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Like I have to admit, it's a bit, you can look at
What's
his face.
What's scary is
like he's.
I mean, look, Dajjal will be described as having this. So Isa Maryam is actually described by the Muslims to have this kind of complexion.
It's interesting where they're going down this route because it's going to be a whole series of shows. Like
I heard the actor's name is Mehdi as well.
Oh yeah, yes, another thing,
which is interesting.
It's interesting, guys.
May Allah protect us. May Allah protect us.
Yeah,
it's scary that they're normalizing this, and they're beautifying what is repulsive,
desensitizing,
desensitizing.
Yes,
and may Allah protect us from this.
Yes, guys, if you've seen it. I think it's very important for you guys to understand that that this is something that people think, oh, it's just a joke, etc. The fact that they've made it so accurate in those contexts of talking about certain things, when they said, oh, you're traveling from Syria to this, that, and that's one of his signs that he's going to be traveling places fast.
But in a way, it's weird because in a way it causes actually more Muslims to read about Dajjal and to read about our aqidah of Dajjal.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's actually da'wah. They put a plan. Allah's the best of planners.
Exactly.
It's weird. It's you actually educating the Muslims from this. So alhamdulillah.
And we can add a bit of tahawi in there, Sheikh. That
A bit of
when Allah deceives, it's we don't call Allah the deceiver.
No, we don't.
That's because that's
He only deceives those who deserve it.
Exactly. So it's a specific attribute that is for specific people that deserve it. So let's just make that clear, inshallah. Because Allah's names are beautiful, and we refer to Him with that, inshallah. Sorry about the excited there. Sheikh, may Allah bless you. It was really informative. Brothers and sisters, as you can see, this life is temporary. And believe me, we're going to have fitna, we're going to have trials. We all do. We all have our own test that we go through, inshallah. But this is a test not to be messed around with, not to be joked around with. Let's see what happens. I don't know.
May Allah protect us.
May Allah protect us all, inshallah. And share this video with maybe your non-Muslim friends, and maybe they can look into, because they've got a lot of hadith in here. I'm actually thinking they've read our sources.
100%.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a Muslim Orthodox guy behind us. Or
Maybe Mahdi was. We don't know.
Till next time, brothers and sisters. Asalaamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.